Welcome to the deep dive. We take a whole stack of sources, notes, research, and try to boil it down to the really key nuggets for you.
That's the plan.
And today, we're diving into something pretty profound, actually. How to cultivate a truly meditative mood.
Mm-hmm. A deep state of inner calm.
Exactly. And we're drawing from some fascinating traditional sources, a specific teaching on meditation practice that's surprisingly actionable. Really clear step-by-step stuff.
Yeah, it's not just theory.
No.
Yeah.
So our mission today is to break down these practical insights to help you understand how you might actually achieve this kind of deep inner stillness and, importantly, how to keep it going.
And what's really remarkable about this source material, which comes from the teachings of Luang Paknam Sri Charoen, is how structured it is. It's an incredibly insightful guide.
Right.
It's not just philosophical rambling. It's very, very practical. There's this meticulous focus on the inner journey itself. It really lays out a kind of system.
Okay, so let's start where the teaching tells us to start. Setting the stage for stillness. It begins with the basics, right? Preparing the body, preparing the mind.
That's right. Foundational stuff.
And it talks about a specific posture. Sounds quite precise. Can you walk us through that?
Sure. So the teaching recommends sitting cross-legged. Specifically, your right leg goes over your left.
Okay. Right over left.
Then your hands, they come together with the right hand resting over the left. And then the index finger of your right hand gently touches the thumb of your left hand.
Just a light touch.
Exactly, gentle touch. And then your hands just rest comfortably there in your lap. It's all about creating this stable, sort of balanced base for yourself.
And the eyes. I remember reading that the instructions were quite particular about how you close them, not just that you close them.
Yes, absolutely. The subtlety here is really key. It says to close your eyes gently. The feeling should be almost like you're just drifting off to sleep.
Oh, okay. Softness.
Total softness. The emphasis is on not squeezing or pressing your eyeballs at all. You want to avoid any kind of strain. It's an immediate signal to your whole system to move towards relaxation, not effort, which is, crucial for inviting that meditative mood.
Makes sense. So physical foundation laid, then it shifts to the mind, preparing the mental state. What kind of qualities are we aiming for before we even get into the main technique?
The teaching is incredibly explicit about this. It lists them out. Your mind should be cheerful.
Cheerful. Interesting.
Yeah, cheerful, refreshed, clean, pure, and bright. These aren't just nice to have. They're presented as like prerequisites.
Okay.
And here's where it gets really interesting, I think. You're instructed to release all worries, whatever they are. Just let them go.
All of them.
All of them. Make your mind completely empty, vacant. It's about dropping every single burden, every preoccupation you might be carrying.
Yeah. Okay, that sounds, like a pretty big ask for most people. Letting go of all worries just like that. Is there a specific technique offered to help with that kind of mental emptying?
There is, actually, and it's quite unique. It's a visualization technique that works as a sort of mental hack.
Okay.
You're asked to imagine your body as being completely empty. No internal organs.
Like literally no lungs, no liver.
Exactly. No lungs, liver, spleen, heart, all gone. Instead, you picture your body as just this hollow, clear space, like a tube made of glass or diamond.
A glass or diamond tube.
Yeah.
That's a very vivid image and kind of unusual. What's the thinking behind that? What does that empty body visualization do psychologically to prepare the mind?
Well, it's more than just a picture in your head, you see. It's like a foundational reprogramming of your perception.
Reprogramming how?
By picturing yourself as this hollow, clear vessel, you're not just detaching from, say, physical aches or the usual internal buzz. You're actually challenging the mind's deep-seated idea of itself as being dense or heavy or full of stuff.
I see. So it creates lightness.
Precisely. An immediate sense of lightness and spaciousness. This makes the mind much more receptive, more agile. It primes you, essentially, to access those really subtle inner states that, frankly, a mind bogged down by the body's perceived solidity just can't reach.
So it's not just relaxation, it's a fundamental shift.
It really revolutionizes how the mind sees itself right at the start.
That makes a lot of sense. Okay, so once you've laid that foundation, the physical ease, the mental lightness, what's the absolute core technique that teaching introduces for achieving that deep inner stillness?
Right. This leads us to the central principle, the big discovery, really, from Luang Paknam Sri Charoen. It's this profound insight. Stopping is the key to success. What does stopping mean here? Not just slowing down thoughts.
No, it's more radical than that. It means bringing the wandering mind, you know how it jumps all over the place?
Yeah.
To a complete halt, total stillness.
Wow. Our minds, most of the time, are just this constant chatter, right? Flitting from this to that, this practice aims to just stop that movement, hold it to a standstill.
And is there a specific place to focus this stopping?
Yes, very specific. You focus right at the absolute center of your body. It's called the seventh base, that Tham Tai Jet.
The seventh base. Where exactly is that?
It's pinpointed as 2 finger widths above your navel, smack bang in the middle of your torso. That's the spot. That's where the mind is supposed to come to rest still.
2 finger widths above the navel.
Okay.
Now, the idea of just stopping the mind, I mean, that sounds almost impossible for many of us. Our brains are always going, planning, remembering. Is it truly about no thought? Or is it more like a profound quieting?
That's a really common question and a fair one. It's less about a forceful kind of suppression, like clamping down on thoughts. It's more about achieving a deep, profound settling. A quieting so complete that the mind becomes utterly still, like a perfectly calm lake.
Okay. And for people who might find it hard to just stop their thoughts at that spot, does the teaching suggest using a mental object, something to anchor the attention? Is it one specific image, or is there some choice?
Good question. There is flexibility, definitely, but it comes with a really crucial condition.
Okay.
The teaching suggests several options for a mental anchor. You could visualize a clear sphere, Ong Sai Sai, Dung Sai Sai, or maybe a clear Buddha image, clear Buddha, or even familiar objects, things you know, provided they feel pure to you, like diamonds or gemstones, maybe even certain roots.
Interesting. And what's that crucial condition you mentioned?
This is absolutely vital. Whatever object you choose, your mind must become pure when you think of it.
Pure meaning.
Meaning free from any trace of lust or anger or any intention to harm yourself or others. The feeling, the quality of mind while visualizing has to be elevated, clear, unburdened. If those conditions aren't met, the object just won't work properly to calm and refine the mind.
So the state of mind is paramount.
Exactly. The purity of your mental state while focusing is key. But interestingly, there's also another option.
Yeah.
You don't actually have to use an image at all. You can simply let the mind be still and empty right there at that center point. Just pure awareness without an object.
So pure focus or pure emptiness. And is there anything else to help? Like maybe a mantra, something to repeat?
Yes, there is. While you're doing this focusing, you should mentally repeat the mantra, Samma Arahang.
Samma Arahang.
You repeat it gently, internally, over and over until the mind stops its wandering and just becomes still.
Ah, okay.
So if you look at the bigger picture here, this combination, the focused attention on a pure object or just emptiness, plus the rhythmic repetition of the mantra, it's specifically designed to, well, halt that constant mental chatter, to guide the mind into that deep stillness we're talking about.
It's like dual approach.
Exactly, to quiet the inner landscape and really cultivate that meditative mood.
This sounds like a really thorough system for getting to that inner stillness. But okay, once you maybe touched that stillness, how do you keep it? The source seems pretty clear that there are, quote, no shortcuts, just diligent, correct practice. It really hammers home consistency.
It does, very strongly. The teaching is adamant, no shortcuts. The only way is through persistent, correct effort. You need unwavering mindfulness, a comfortable, relaxed state of mind, and absolute consistency every single day. No days off.
Wow.
It's not presented as a casual hobby, you know? It demands real commitment. It's almost like an antidote to our modern desire for quick fixes, isn't it?
Definitely. And it seems like it's not just about the time you spend formally sitting either. The teaching talks about integrating this inner state, this composure, into every part of daily life. That sounds like a huge challenge.
It is huge, but central to the teaching. While it does recommend setting aside specific hours for formal stopping and still practice,
Right.
it equally stresses maintaining this inner composure throughout all your activities.
Like even when you're just brushing your teeth.
Exactly. Brushing your teeth, washing your face, taking a bath, even just stretching your arms, sitting, sleeping, standing, walking, working. The instruction is crystal clear. If you genuinely want to reach the Dharma, the triple gem within, which means the Buddha, his teachings, and the enlightened community,
Okay.
then you must continually protect and preserve this inner state, whatever you're doing externally. It's about making that meditative mood your default setting, essentially.
A 24/7 transformation.
That's the goal, a holistic approach.
That is. Well, aspirational is the word that comes to mind. Keeping that calm when life is, happening all around you. How does the mind actually change through this kind of persistent effort? What does the source say about the refinement of the mind?
Yeah, that's a key concept. The teaching explains it as a gradual process. A mind that starts out coarse, busy, agitated, maybe dull, gradually becomes subtle through this consistent practice.
Subtle mean.
Meaning lighter, more spacious, more comfortable, it leads to distinct feelings. And ultimately, this refinement can lead to seeing inner light, or even what's called the Dharma sphere.
Dharma sphere.
But it clarifies this isn't instantaneous, it's a slow journey. From gross to subtle, then maybe slightly subtle to very subtle, until it becomes completely clear and comfortable. And it stresses a key principle. Only a subtle mind can reach subtle things.
Right. If your mind isn't refined, it can't perceive those deeper states.
Exactly. Like trying to see microscopic details with the naked eye, you need the right instrument, the refined mind, to access the subtle reality of the Dharma.
So it's kind of purification process. And there was also mention of a law of reaching Dharma in the source material. What does that involve in terms of daily life?
Yes, this law basically says that throughout your day, your thoughts, your words, your actions, everything needs to consistently revolve around things that are inherently subtle, pure, and clean.
Such as?
Well, consciously thinking about things like Buddha images or that Dharma sphere we mentioned, the Dharma teachings themselves, or acts of merit, things considered pure and refined.
Okay.
The idea is the more frequently you consciously dwell on these pure things, the more your own mind naturally starts to become pure, clean, and spotless itself. This constant mental cultivation, this internal focus, is seen as absolutely essential for reaching the Dharma.
It's like marinating the mind in purity.
That's a good way to put it. The teaching even uses a specific Pali term for this frequent, repeated practice. Havita bahulikata.
Havita bahulika. Diligent, continuous cultivation aspect, making it a habit.
And does it involve talking to yourself in a way, like internal affirmations?
Yes, exactly. The source advises that you can sort of speak to yourself internally. You can use the Samma Arahang mantra, as we discussed.
Right. Or you can actively affirm things like, I must be pure, I must be clean, I must be spotless. It's about constantly reminding yourself of these qualities, and then, crucially, acting accordingly through your body, your speech, and your mind. It's an active, ongoing process of aligning your whole being with these pure qualities, constantly reinforcing that meditative mood until it becomes second nature.
This sounds like a really deep, committed path. It requires serious dedication. But let's be real, even with the clearest instructions, challenges are going to come up during meditation, aren't they? We're human. Our minds wander, we get uncomfortable.
Absolutely.
So what practical advice does this teaching offer for navigating those common hurdles, both the physical stuff and the mental distractions? How does it prepare you for the messy reality of practice when you hit discomfort or your mind just won't settle?
It offers some incredibly practical and actually quite compassionate advice for physical challenges first. If you find yourself getting tired or sleepy or maybe tense or stressed during your sitting, the instruction is surprisingly simple. If you need to sleep, allow yourself to sleep.
Really? Just sleep?
Yeah, don't fight it. Don't try to power through heavy fatigue. And if you get aches or pains, the advice is to adjust your posture gently. No forcing, no straining. It shows a really kind, understanding approach to the body. It acknowledges its needs.
That's refreshing. Not just grit your teeth and bear it. Okay, what about the mental side? The wandering mind. That's probably the biggest obstacle for most of us, right? How do we gently guide those thoughts back?
Right. For mental distractions, the source makes a useful distinction between two types of wandering thoughts.
Wow.
First, there are what it calls gross wandering thoughts.
Gross wandering, like thinking about dinner.
Exactly. Suddenly planning your grocery list, replaying a conversation, worrying about work. If those big, obvious thoughts pop up, the advice is to gently open your eyes.
Open your eyes during meditation.
Yes. And look at a physical anchor. This could be a glass sphere if you have one, maybe a Buddha image, or even pictures of revered teachers associated with this tradition, like Machi Chandra Konokyo or Luang himself.
So give the mind something external and calm to focus on.
Precisely. Give the scattered mind something concrete and peaceful to rest on externally. Then, once your mind feels calmer, more settled, you gently close your eyes again and go back to your internal focus point. It's a very practical, real-time fix.
That is a brilliant, simple technique.
Yeah.
Okay, what about the other kind? The more subtle distractions. Those little fleeting images or quiet thoughts that aren't like a full-blown internal movie.
Right, those are called subtle wandering thoughts. I was like, for these, because the mind is already closer to stillness, the instruction is simpler.
Yeah?
Just gently set your mind back to stopping and being still at your center. Don't engage with the subtle thought. Don't analyze it. Just return to stillness.
Just let it pass and refocus.
Exactly. Now, if these wandering thoughts specifically take the form of images, maybe unwanted pictures pop into your mind, you consciously substitute them with a pure image like the glass sphere or the Buddha image we talked about.
Replace a distracting image with a pure one.
Yes. And crucially, if the distraction comes as sounds maybe internal chatter or just mental noise, you use the Samma Arahang mantra. Repeat it mentally to counteract the noise and gently bring your focus back to the center of the body.
So you have specific tools for specific types of distraction.
You do, and the underlying message through all these challenges is the need for continuous, patient support and maintenance of the mind. You just keep gently redirecting, again and again, with unwavering consistency. It's gentle, but it's persistent.
This deep dive has really illuminated so much about cultivating that profound meditative mood. It's clear it's a path of focused attention, yes, but also consistent practice. And this idea of gradual refinement, all anchored in these very specific techniques and principles. Feels like we've gotten a shortcut to understanding the real heart of these teachings.
Absolutely. And stepping back for a moment, the bigger picture, the broader implication here is actually quite liberating, I think.
How so?
The source material explicitly states that the Dharma sphere, that Duang Vam, already exists within every single one of us. It's located at the sixth base in the body, according to this teaching.
Already there.
Already there, which means this profound, pure state isn't something you have to build from scratch. It's inherently accessible to everyone. Doesn't matter what your background is or your current state of mind. The teaching even emphasizes that from darkness, meaning from a place of being completely lost or unaware, you can genuinely reach the Dharma.
So it's a universal potential.
Exactly. It's a universal possibility within us all. These methods, these techniques we've discussed, they're simply the means to uncover, to unveil what's already present.
That's a powerful thought to end on, and maybe something for you, the listener, to reflect on. As you think about this journey, this refinement from a coarse mind to a subtle one, consider how cultivating such a subtle mind might do more than just transform your meditation sessions. How might it fundamentally shift the way you perceive and interact with the sometimes very coarse world around you every single day? Could this path lead not just to inner peace during practice, but to a deeper sense of clarity, maybe purpose, even kind of quiet grace in every aspect of your life?
เมื่อเราได้บูชาพระรัตนตรัยกันเสร็จเรียบร้อยแล้วต่อจากนี้ไปตั้งใจให้แน่แน่วมุ่งตรงต่อหนทางพระนิพพานกันทุกๆคนนะลูกนะให้นั่งขัดสมาธิโดยเอาขาขวาทับขาซ้ายมือขวาทับมือซ้ายให้นิ้วชี้ของมือข้างขวาจรดนิ้วหัวแม่มือข้างซ้ายวางไว้บนหน้าตักพอสบายหลับตาของเราเบาๆค่อนลูกพอสบายคล้ายๆกับตอนที่เราใกล้จะหลับอย่าไปบีบเปลือกตาอย่ากดลูกในตานะจ๊ะแล้วก็ทำใจของเราให้เบิกบานให้แช่มชื่นให้สะอาดบริสุทธิ์ผ่องใสไร้กังวลในทุกสิ่งไม่ว่าจะเป็นเรื่องอะไรก็ตามให้ปลดให้ปล่อยให้วางทำใจให้ว่างๆคราวนี้เราก็มาสมมุติว่าภายในร่างกายของเรานะปราศจากอวัยวะไม่มีปอดตับม้ามไตหัวใจเป็นต้นสมมุติให้เป็นที่โล่งๆว่างๆเป็นปล่องเป็นช่องเป็นโพรง กลวงภายในคล้ายๆท่อแก้วท่อเพชรใสๆนะจ๊ะคราวนี้เราก็มาทบทวนธรรมปฏิบัติที่พระเดชพระคุณหลวงปู่วัดปากน้ำประสิทธิเจริญผู้ค้นพบวิชาธรรมกายท่านได้สอนเอาไว้สรุปโดยย่อก็คือหยุดเป็นตัวสำเร็จหมายถึงว่าใจที่แวบไปแวบมาคิดไปในเรื่องราวต่างๆเอามาหยุดนิ่งๆอยู่ที่ศูนย์กลางกายฐานที่7ที่อยู่กลางท้องของเราเหนือสะดือขึ้นมา2 นิ้วมือจะกำหนดเป็นภาพเป็นเครื่องหมายที่ยึดที่เกาะของใจเราก็ได้เป็นดวงใสๆหรือว่าจะเป็นองค์พระใสๆหรือสิ่งที่เราคุ้นเคยจะเป็นเพชรนิลจินดาผลหมากรากไม้หรืออะไรที่นอกเหนือจากนี้ก็ได้แต่ต้องเป็นวัตถุที่นึกแล้วใจเราสะอาดบริสุทธิ์ปราศจากความกำหนัดยินดีในกามในความพยาบาทหรือความคิดเบียดเบียนทั้งตนเองและผู้อื่นใจต้องสูงส่งอย่างนี้ก็ได้หรือจะไม่นึกเป็นภาพอยากวางใจนิ่งเฉยๆก็ได้นะลุงนะเนี่ยท่านฝึกให้หยุดให้นิ่งแล้วก็พร้อมกับภาวนาประคองใจให้ใจเราใสๆโดยสัมมาอรหังสัมมาอรหังสัมมาอรหังภาวนาไปกี่ครั้งก็ได้จนกว่าใจจะหยุดนิ่งนะจ๊ะลูกทุกคนคงจำได้ว่าไม่มีทางลัดอื่นใดนอกจากความเพียรพยายามทำอย่างถูกวิธีให้มีสติมีความสบายแล้วก็สม่ำเสมอทุกวันอย่าให้ขาดให้มีชั่วโมงหยุดชั่วโมงนิ่งชั่วโมงกลางที่เราจะต้องประคับประคองใจให้อยู่ภายในทั้งวันทีเดียวไม่ว่าเราจะประกอบสัมมาอาชีวะหรือทำภารกิจอะไรก็ตามที่นอกเหนือจากนั้นจะอาบน้ำล้างหน้าแปรงฟันขับถ่ายเหยียดแขนคู่แขนนั่งนอนยืนเดินอะไรก็แล้วแต่ถ้ารักที่จะเข้าถึงธรรมถึงพระรัตนตรัยในตัวต้องหมั่นประคองใจนะลูกนะต้องหมั่นประคองใจแล้วก็ต้องใจเย็นๆใจใสๆมีสติมีความสบายมีความสม่ำเสมอใจที่หยาบก็จะค่อยๆละเอียดมันไม่ใช่หัวภาพละเอียดขึ้นมาเลยจากหยาบก็มาละเอียดจากละเอียดน้อยก็ค่อยๆมาละเอียดมากจนกระทั่งค่อยๆโล่งโปร่งเบาสบายตัวขยายเห็นแสงสว่างเห็นดวงธรรมเป็นต้นมันก็จะมีขั้นมีตอนของมันมาเพราะฉะนั้นอย่าไปแสวงหาหนทางลัดอะไรอื่นใดเลยหยุดกับนิ่งเท่านั้นแหละลัดที่สุดแต่ก็ต้องค่อยๆสั่งสมประสบการณ์ค่อยๆฝึกให้ใจมันหยุดใจมันนิ่งใจมันใสใจมันละเอียดเพราะฉะนั้นจากมืดตื้อมืดมิดนี่แหละจะมีสิทธิ์เข้าถึงธรรมและต้องเข้าถึงทุกคนด้วยเพราะดวงธรรมที่ทายเป็นกายมนุษย์หยาบเนี่ยมีอยู่แล้วนะลุงนะในตัวของเราตรงฐานที่6แค่เราทำใจค่อยๆประคองให้หยุดให้นิ่งสบายๆให้ใจมันค่อยๆละเอียดใจละเอียดเท่านั้นแหละ จึงจะไปถึงสิ่งที่ละเอียดได้แต่ใจไม่ละเอียดมันเข้าไม่ถึงเพราะฉะนั้นวันทั้งวันในระบบความคิดของเราเนี่ยคำพูดและการกระทำต้องวนเวียนกับสิ่งที่ละเอียดถ้าเราคิดเรื่องละเอียดพูดเรื่องละเอียดแล้วก็วนเวียนอยู่กับสิ่งที่ละเอียดใจมันจะละเอียดตามนึกถึงองค์พระนึกถึงดวงนึกถึงธรรมะนึกถึงบุญซึ่งเป็นสิ่งที่ละเอียดบริสุทธิ์สะอาดเกลี้ยงเกลานึกบ่อยๆใจของเราก็จะพลอยเป็นอย่างนั้นแหละบริสุทธิ์สะอาดเกลี้ยงเกลาเหมือนกันกับวัตถุสิ่งของที่เราจะนึกจะคิดจะพูดหรือจะทำนี่คือกฎของการเข้าถึงธรรมที่รู้ทุกคนจะต้องจำเอาไว้ถ้าเราอยากเข้าถึงได้เร็วแม้จะไม่มีทางลัดก็ต้องคิดสิ่งที่ละเอียดสิ่งที่สะอาดสิ่งที่บริสุทธิ์พูดก็ต้องละเอียดสะอาดบริสุทธิ์ทำก็ละเอียดสะอาดบริสุทธิ์ทางกายทางวาจาทางใจ3ทางนี้แหละบ่อยๆเนืองๆที่ภาษาบาลีก็ใช้คำว่าภาวิตาภาหุลีกตาบ่อยๆเนืองๆซ้ำๆมีเวลาเป็นนึกมีเวลาเป็นธรรมมีเวลาเป็นพูดคิดพูดทำคิดพูดทำอย่างนี้พูดอยู่คนที่จะพูดใครก็พูดกับตัวเราเองโดยคำภาวนาสัมมาอรหังนั่นแหละหรือสอนตัวเราเองว่าเราต้องเป็นผู้บริสุทธิ์ต้องเป็นผู้สะอาดต้องเกลี้ยงเกลาแล้วก็ลงมือทำปฏิบัติอย่างนี้นะลูกนะคืนนี้ก็เช่นเคยใครเหนื่อยใครเพลียใครง่วงใครตึงใครเครียดปล่อยให้มันหลับไปเลยถ้าเมื่อยก็ขยับเบาๆถ้าฟุ้งหยาบแล้วก็ลืมตาดูดวงแก้วดูองค์พระดูคุณยายดูหลวงปู่ของเราเป็นต้นพอใจมันเริ่มละเอียดสบายก็ค่อยๆหลับตาลงแต่ถ้าฟุ้งละเอียดแล้วก็วางใจหยุดให้มันนิ่งๆถ้าความฟุ้งเป็นภาพเราก็นึกภาพดวงแก้วองค์พระเข้ามาแทนหรือมหาปูชนียาจารย์ของเรามาแทนถ้าฟุ้งเป็นเสียงก็เราใช้คำภาวนาสัมมาอรหังก็มาสู้กันนี่ก็ต้องค่อยๆประคับประคองกันไปอย่างนี้นะลูกนะเดี๋ยวเราก็สมหวังคืนนี้ให้ลูกทุกคนสมหวังดังใจในการเข้าถึงพระรัตนตรัยกันนะจ๊ะต่างคนต่างนั่งกันไปเงียบๆ